The more things change, the more things stay the same in the season 4 premiere of The Sopranos. It may be the highest rated episode of the show, but it will not rank that high among our ratings for all depths, public and private. On back to Fog Entertainment, and it's the first episode without the World Trade Centers in the background. Thoughts on that? We lost a good one there.
Woke up this morning and they were gone.
They were gone. Probably the biggest death on the show so far. I mean, if we're being brutally honest about it.
Well, Big Sal was like the size of one of the towers, so maybe not necessarily that far, but yeah, a big absence nonetheless.
Big absence, and this is, fun fact, the highest rated episode with a 13.43 rating.
To this point, or of all time?
All time. Sopranos only went down for here. What's that tell you?
Tells me that the last 3 seasons aren't that great.
Tells you that. But this episode focuses pretty heavily on money, as the title would suggest, debts, public and private. You've got Tony wanting money, Junior wants money, Carmela wants to start a fund because her kids, she's worrying about them. Tony's like, it's alright. He's throwing money in the duck seed. Right,
before we talk about what happened here, right, I just want to point out there's a certain guy that has watched this from start to finish more than 50 times, and he claims it's undoubtedly the best series of all time. And I just think if the ratings go down at the halfway point, can it really be the best series of all time? For me, if a series is worthy of that title, surely the longer it goes, the better it gets, and more people are tuning in to see the climax of the show.
Yeah, it's not...
It's like The Walking Dead, right? You can't make a claim that The Walking Dead's the best show of all time, because you're literally talking like the audience is like... You're down like over 90% of the audience by the time it finishes from what you were at its peak.
Yeah. And it's not automatically, though, if the final episode of the show's below any other episode means it's a write-off. But I would agree. I think the final season should be the highest rated in terms of viewership.
No, obviously, you could have maybe one episode doesn't do that well, but I think the trend should be... I think if the show's really good, then more people will watch it the longer it goes. I think normally once the ratings start go down, that would tell me that there's a decline and there's a reason why the show is not as popular as it once was. And I think if The Sopranos is dipping at the halfway point, then that tells me that people are going off it.
Well, Tony took a dip outside. He walks down the his driveway with his slippers, his house coat on. He bends down, he lifts up the newspaper and reads it. And it's like, does this deserve to kick off a season? Tony Soprano walking down his driveway, like we've seen a million times before, and picking up a newspaper.
No, but it's poetic, isn't it? I wouldn't expect anything else.
No, you wouldn't.
For The Sopranos.
There's been a bit of a time skip, obviously, in between seasons. Looks like AJ Soprano, he started at a private school, and Meadow is just languishing among the house.
I think when the series started, I thought Meadow was going to be the one that they were proud of, and the one that, I don't know, went on to be successful and got good grades. But now it's kind of looking like AJ might be the one that actually makes his family proud of him.
It might be. But I think with Meadow, it's like Carmela's banging on, oh, you need a job, and I get it, right? Maybe the wife's got a different role than the kids, but it's like, Carmela, you've never worked a fucking day in your life. And I'm not saying that excuses the kids not to, but I think if Tony is making this argument to Meadow, it has a bit more weight. Carmela just... Tony's got plenty of weight.
Well, she would argue that Tony's never worked a day in his life either.
No, but...
waste company, waste management.
No, we can say what we want about Tony, but as illegal as the activity... He does put the hours in. He does actually do stuff.
Yeah,
he's rose his way to the top.
Yeah, but couldn't you argue that Carmela looks after the family and cooks the meals and that's her job?
Maybe. Would she not do that with a job, though?
What does Meadow actually do? Fuck all.
Loves about the house, crying about Jackie Jr.
I think you comparing Meadow and Carmela's no fair on Carmela.
No fair on Carmela?
I think she does her part. Was it what Tony expects and wants of her? She does, apart from the nagging. He doesn't really fucking want
that. You look at Tony's face, he's looking impressed by any family member.
See, to be honest though, you'd wonder why. I wonder if Tony actually ever cared about Carmela. Or was it just one of these things where I need to marry someone and have some kids? Because it's the Italian thing to do.
It's mummy later.
But does he genuinely like Carmela?
Probably just more of a case he loves her because she's the mother of his children rather than like actually loves the person.
I couldn't recall many...
What's the idea of a wife?
I couldn't recall many scenes though where you genuinely felt that Tony was enjoying being in Carmela's company. And you've seen him do it with a lot of females, but not Carmela. The Russian whore he seemed to enjoy... The rich woman in season 3, Dr. Melfi.
Would it be safe to assume if Carmella died, not saying if she gets shot by another gang member, say she just died of like cancer, would Tony be that broke up about it?
No, because he'd probably just move the ducks in, wouldn't he? And
Quack, quack. Move the ducks in. Exactly. Tony and Junior have a meeting. Junior lays it on thick. He says, right,
I need more money.
I need money because the court cases are crippling me here. He does end up flirting with a nurse who ends up being a rat. Well, I say a rat. She's like not even a informant. She's just like, they think she's got something to do with the police, but he didn't even say anything incriminating and he's panicking.
And this is another one that looks like maybe Tony's had a fling with or something like that, because they did have a wee bit of an eye contact here.
Yeah.
It's like Tony's getting all these women. That just proves that he's a big fat slob. It's just proof that money talks, isn't it? I mean.
Yeah, no, exactly. But obviously she's in. But then if she's in the FBI, would she sleep with Tony? That's a career killer move. But maybe to get your way more information.
Wait. Could you not argue? I don't know. Would you not argue that they'd take that?
No, they probably would.
Part of the job.
But it's not. It's never confirmed. But the looks would suggest that.
Hold on. See if a female's undercover in the FBI and they want them to get as close as possible to someone. Like, do you think that they actually state that at your mission? Oh, by the way, we need you to get as close to sleeping with this person without actually doing it.
No, it's whatever means necessary.
Yeah, so I'm going to imagine that's bullshit. I think they would actually
encourage it.
Aye,
be advocates.
I'm not going to say that they demand you have to do it, but I think they would go as far as saying, look, if that's what it takes, then do it.
Carmella then goes a bit shopping. She notices Angie.
Also, by the way, I think that Junior shouldn't be asking Tony. I still think Junior's lucky to be alive after the shit he pulled in season 1.
True. We all make mistakes, don't we?
No, I know, but how come his entire fucking crew had to pay for their mistakes?
Oh, a few of them are still around.
Well, not many.
Bobby, that's the old guy's kind of looking after Junior at the minute.
Right, what about Junior's number 2 then? In the first season?
Mikey.
Aye.
True.
Why do you not get a second chance?
He's not his uncle, that's why.
Why do you get gunned in?
No, but I think Junior's being wasted in this role.
Well, who's Bobby the uncle to?
No, his dad? No one.
Exactly, but why do you not die?
Because he's not high up the crew. He is now, but he wasn't at the time. My point is, I think Junior's being wasted under house arrest. I think ideally you would like this entire...
I thought this would have just been like a little arc, but it seems like it's going to be the entire series.
Junior's in his fucking house coat and slippers like Tony is.
Anytime he wants to talk to Tony, he needs to go and fucking get a prostate exam or something. Like, what's happening here?
Yeah, Carmella then goes shopping. She sees Big Sal's widow. She then returns home and starts crying. Tony, I need some money. We need some money in the kids' names. We need to have a future plan for when you go away. And Tony says he's got it under wraps and that money's quite bad at the minute. What about this? Is this called for Carmella being worried about the future, or should you trust Tony?
Well, I mean, potentially. Now, didn't Tony say that she'd be taken care of?
Yeah.
Or does that go out the window because Big Sal's a rat?
He's already paid. No, but he's already paid for quite a few things that she's got. Realistically, right? Yeah, you do get taken care of, but it's probably taken care of to a certain degree. Like,
should you though?
That's what happens when you're a made man.
Yeah, but I don't think I necessarily agree with that, because like, see, Big Sal, he would have been making good money anyway. Is that not his responsibility to put some away?
True. But again, we see throughout the show and these couple of episodes here, Tony pretty much, blasts people for using certain motives, but's happy to take the greed off it. As we see with the tiles and the fibre optic cables throughout the next 2 episodes.
He's a greedy man.
He is a greedy man. Even when it comes to food, he's absolutely greedy. He takes Chris to the Bada Bing. Georgie's...
Bada boom.
Bada boom, bada bing. Georgie's got the ice out. And Tony's like, you do realise things are tough around here? Why are you wasting the ice? And he's like... And then Tony says, like, they don't grow on trees. He's like, yeah, no, they don't grow on trees, Tone. And then Tony just fucking batters him. I
didn't like this, okay? This guy that works here is clearly... He's mentally challenged or something.
Aye, he's got a deficiency of some kind.
And Tony's beating the shit out of him with ice bucket.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's not even a legitimate... It's not even like a legitimate wastage. It's fucking ice. It's water. This isn't fucking Africa last time I checked.
Yeah.
We're in New York. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I think these scenes are funny, but they're a bit forced.
No, they are funny, but I mean, like... I could understand if he was doing something that was actually costing money.
Yeah.
But it's ice. It's free.
Not really doing anything, is it, at the end of the day?
This just made Tony feel like a bully.
He is a bully, though. He's absolutely a bully. Look at the way he like mocks like Christopher and everyone.
True.
Everyone just laughs at his jokes and they have to take it. But they head to like a garage and then we see pretty much all the capitals there. We've got Carlo, we've got Ray Curto, Ralph's there, we've got Silvio, Chris, yada yada. Tony just goes on a full rant about money and how things are shit and how they've got no money and he wants money, but they've got no money and he demands that here, even if you're making money, I want all your money. Tony's a greedy bastard. He wants all the money. But is he going to get the money? I'm not too sure. What did you make of this?
It seems like great. It seems like everyone else. Seems like Tony's the only one doing well.
Yeah, but you notice
he's demanding even
notice
more.
the way he makes out that the money's for Junior's court case, even though he's already denied him money at this point.
Aye.
He's trying to pretend that the real head of the family needs the money when in reality he's the head of the family and he wants the money. He's a slippery fucking scaly bastard, isn't he?
I'm not a big fan. Big Tony is.
He's not. We do see Adriana's new friend Danielle, who of course we did get introduced to in this episode, well, last episode, but we do see in this episode that she is like properly FBI undercover. And Adriana's just eating this up, isn't she? Falling for it.
Yep. Clearly obvious, but something's going on here, but Adriana doesn't see it.
Doesn't see it. Then Chris returns home, essentially orders this woman at the house, and then he takes off his socks. We're thinking, right, what's he going to do? Get a massage here? No! He gets the needle out and starts injecting heroin into his toes. Why is he injecting into his toes?
But he doesn't want Tony to see it.
On his arms.
Right, well,
unless Tony's fucking tickling his feet or something, he might see it. But honestly, drugs is a no-no for me. And I think characters that automatically do drugs, I automatically look down on them. Is that a fair assumption?
I can almost accept it when it's like a one-off kind of thing. But
Chris is every scene he's in his house.
And I'll be honest, that's another thing that really put me off about Jesse in Breaking Bad. Now, I like Jesse, but it got very tiring, I think.
Yeah.
A lot of the scenes were... It was like almost every time you see him, he was just shooting something. And that's what Chris is beginning to feel like. I mean,
it's an automatic liability for me.
Like, you can understand why he's hiding it. Tony wouldn't want someone like that to be a made man in his crew.
No, but it's like, I just look at Sons and yeah, they deal drugs, right? But see, they were sitting around the table snorting gear off the crow, the M16. I'd honestly look down on them less. It's a sign of weakness, drugs. See, your top dogs, they don't take drugs. They don't.
Diaz.
Tell me, hermano, bit of myth, man. But yeah, he injects it into his toes. Whoop-de-doo. We then have a dinner.
Fucking
right?
whitest Hispanic man I've ever seen.
Yeah, we have a dinner here. Ralphie goes to the toilet. Janice then follows him. There's this like,
More drugs?
more drugs. But I think this scene's brilliant because Tony is hearing this story about World War II and he just clocks 2 empty seats. He looks at his fucking watch and he's like, I don't give a fuck about World War II.
Who's the guy telling him the story? It's Fingy's mum and
It's Carmela's dad.
And Carmela's dad, and Tony just does not give a fuck what this guy's saying.
The guy fucking Bismarck.
Oh, he's looking at his sister's not there and Ralphie's not there. They're both disappeared. Where could they be?
Where could they be?
And you just hear this World War II rambling on in the background. I enjoyed that.
But see, if you wanted to, Tony could shut this relationship down, man. But then, but Ralph's a made guy. He wasn't even allowed to punch him. What do you make of that? Those apples?
So what? It's a punch. If you punch a made man, what's the punishment?
Well, Tony punched Ralph Shoe and there was like big discussions. What's going to happen here? Remember last season?
Could Tony have got demoted for that?
I don't fucking know.
Alright, what if Ralph punched Tony? Hold on, that's a bit...
I think Tony's a fair guy. I think if Ralph punched him and he felt... I say he's a fair guy, I don't get he's a fair guy. My point is...
I think if Tony felt the punch was justified?
I think if Tony felt the punch...
Well, I'll tell you what, I think Tony's punch on Ralph was justified.
I think it's different. I think if Ralph punched Tony and won, alright, Tony might have an issue, but if Ralph punched Tony, then Tony beat him to a pulp, he wouldn't take it any further.
Oh, so Tony basically has to get 10 punches in for every one Ralph does or some shit like that?
There will be evidence of that later on, but here...
Wait, is this not pathetic? Why can't they settle it like men? Like, look at Sons. Whenever they have a bit of beef, they go in the cage.
You can't punch a main man.
No, but imagine that. Imagine you couldn't punch a patch member.
It'd be embarrassing.
There'd be no members left. See, after the first couple of episodes, everyone would be kicked out the club.
Everyone would be kicked out.
This is pathetic. Here, you can't punch a made man.
Yeah. Also...
No, but see the way Paulie and Ralph obviously have their differences. Why not? Set it up.
True.
Right, you guys need to get this out your system. Square go at the back.
Let's talk about Paulie, though. He's in jail. Actor was off with back surgery. That's why he's in jail. The reasoning's incredibly cheap.
Fucking pathetic.
They found a gun and 8 years ago. It was used for like an armed robbery with murder. So he's in jail until they find the culprit. I went on a Reddit message board yesterday to like. Look up,
what if they never found the culprit?
Yeah, no, but I went on a Reddit thing to look up the reason like why this happened, and some guy went, "This was much better doing it like this, like off screen." I'm sorry to burst anyone's bubble, right? But see having one of your major characters go in jail potentially for life and not show it on screen. What are you doing?
Yeah, and not really be clear on what the actual reason is.
There's a lot of shows fanboys out there, but I think The Sopranos are some of the worst. To actually try and defend that and say it's a better option is ridiculous, in my eyes.
I think The Sopranos does way too much stuff off screen.
But it's not like it's not like it's a misdemeanor. I mean, the guy could be doing life, and it's not like, oh well, he's only 20, he gets out in 25 years, he's 40. No, he's at the end. If he does 25 years, he'll be done. Sort of. Well, I mean, he's dead in real life, so I mean, this was based in 2002. If he was doing 25 years, he'd been dead 7 years ago, based off that logic. But anyway, Tony and Chris sit down. Essentially, here, what does Tony tell him? He tells him, "You're the man, big man." Because guess what? Tony's trying to manipulate him just a wee tad more here, and he says, "The real guy that killed your father is in there." And it turns out it's a cop. And Haydu, who's the cop, essentially got this Jilly guy, or Jilly got Haydu to kill Dickie Moltisanti, which of course is his dad. But in the prequel, which I've not watched, it's revealed that Junior killed Dickie Moltisanti. But obviously at this point they had no interest in exploring that. At this point they had no idea they were going to do that.
So you think at this point they actually intended to go with the cop killing him, but then they thought when they did the prequel, no wait, we can do something better here?
Probably. It's
either that or Tony's flat up lying.
But there's not a scene here where, like, in the future where Tony and Junior share a look over this. We don't even know what's going on. But when Christopher's, like, beating him up and, you know, he's about to kill him, he's like, the cop asks him, "Do you even believe that the guy that told you thinks I killed your dad?" And he's like, "It doesn't matter, he wants you dead."
Also, it just seemed very weird. Like, there was no, like, build up to this or Christopher really asking about his dad or feeling bad about his dad. This kind of came out of fucking nowhere.
Yeah, it did. But essentially what happens is he kills him. He turns like was it Miami Vice on the TV up? I thought it was quite funny. And then he takes like the dollar bill out the guy's wallet, I think he got for retiring. In between this, you had Tony and Bobby eating steaks at the diner. Didn't exactly do much for me. And then Christopher puts the dollar on his mum's fridge, walks out as the song plays. Down.
If that dollar bill's got like fingerprints or anything on that, could that not?
Aye, incriminate him.
Yeah.
Absolutely could, but here.
Since it was a gift, like, I don't know, do you get a specific dollar bill? Would there be like ink on it or a print on it or could there
could be,
even if it's just fingerprint?
No, but like, let's say that's a special dollar that
like
he got.
A serial number or something.
If that's a special dollar he got for his retirement, he could easily be pinned. But it just comes out a bit of nowhere. We haven't seen in previous seasons Christopher's desire to get to the bottom of his father's death. Tony's just whipped this out of thin air.
Then all of a sudden, like a couple of minutes before, Christopher's. I just don't understand it.
I don't understand it either, guys. Anyway, I'm going to give this episode a 5 out of 10.
I'll give it a 6. I thought it was an okay premiere, but nothing special, nothing great.
It just
felt like another episode. Honestly, it just didn't feel like it was. And wait, was there not a big time skip? Like not like not a big
couple
one.
of months.
No, I mean, I don't mean time skip. Between seasons 3 and 4, was there not like a few years?
Seasons 3 and 4?
Aye.
What do you mean?
Was it between airing? Was there not like
just a year? Just a year.
Is that it?
The next one's 2 years, and then the next one's like 3 after that.
Normally in shows, you can tell a difference when the premiere starts. You can feel like it's a different season. I didn't get the feeling here. It just felt like it was a continuation of season 3.
It did, and like no, but usually premieres set up like, oh, what's this season going to behold? If I was to guess, like I've already watched it, right? But if you were to guess, you would just assume money issues or something.
Yeah, money issues, but honestly, every Sopranos episode feels the same to me. It all feels like filler. It feels like it doesn't feel like there's a continuation storyline. Sopranos gives me a little bit of like Supernatural vibes, where it's like every episode's got a different story, different plot to it.
Yeah. That's what I feel like too. But anyway, guys, 5.5 out of 10. Our debts have been paid. Remember, Fog Entertainment always pays its debts.